When someone's in the military, they're a part of a family. The problem is when our service members start to transition, they lose that connection with that family. We're no longer assigned to that unit. We're no longer on base. So it's important that organizations like Team ADDO build roots in these communities, so as the individuals transition out of the military, they take their roots and put them in just another pot, and that pot is the community, the civilian community.
When I took that uniform off for the very last time, I realized that was the last time I was going to be wearing it, and it was an emotional event because that's just what I've done. Most folks that join the service don't do it for the money, they do it for something, they want to be a part of something bigger. And so when you take that uniform off, you're no longer a part of that organization, and it's an emotional event. And there's also that uncertainty of, okay, now that I don't wear this uniform, what's the next step?
Coming from a very structured organization, already grown, made a name for yourself, your reputation. It's a whole set of rules when you get out. And one of the first things that I really had to take some time was reflecting on who I was. You have to really dig deep and explore those things because you no longer have that strong purpose that you had in the military. Now you have to find your own purpose.
I didn't realize how difficult the transition was going to be. I've worked really hard in the military, gained a certain status, and you don't realize that when you walk away from the military, you don't have that same status.
Ultimately, you start thinking ahead about what you want to do. Where do you want to be? Where do you want your family to be? And things of that nature. So, truly I started preparing when I got here about 3 years ago. To me, the transition process is being comfortable with where you are in life when you are no longer a part of the U.S. military.
When you go into the military, you wear a uniform every day. That resembles a suit, right? So you wear your medals on it, your patches. As I was seeing soldiers transition out of the military, they were experiencing a lot of challenges and hurdles. So even before I retired in 2018, I knew the best thing that we could afford to give them to say thank you for your service was a suit, hands down.
I think what they're doing is extraordinary. It might just be a suit, but for us it means so much more. The way that we project ourselves in our uniform and the way we dress said a lot about us. When we leave the military, we have somewhat of a lost identity. And when we have people such as James and Team ADDO trying to help us bring that identity back through our suits and what we wear is so heartfelt and impactful for us. And the care that they take, the meticulousness that they have with every single detail just makes us feel like we matter.
Transition is always different for everyone else. I struggled, and I didn't realize how tough it was going to be. The transition was harder on me than I expected. How am I going to provide for my family? How am I going to get a job? What are my skills enough to, what can I do? And the TAPS class, the interview classes, those things that they train us on prior to transition is all important, but I would consider that kind of behind the scenes. Then once you're in that interview in front of those folks, that's where the spotlight is. That's when your spotlight's on you, and that's when you need to look your best. It was a good friend of mine who had just recently retired as well out of SOCOM that said he knew Team ADDO and that he told me the benefits of what they were doing. And I got the call to come in and fit for a free suit. And I didn't have one. And so I thought this was fantastic. So when I showed up and they fitted me, and it was just a fantastic, beautiful suit they put together for me. And it was the one suit that I used when I went to interviews. And I didn't have one, but I believe that suit built a little bit of confidence walking in looking good, because when you look good, you feel better. And it definitely built some confidence, and I was able to conduct those interviews pretty well.
The thing that's really amazing is that there's so many people that want to help. People such as you, your organization, are like, hey, you're going to need something. You're going to need something a little bit bigger. Let me help you. Doing this was phenomenal. I thought to myself, like, wow, that's incredibly helpful, thoughtful, and really just the type of thing that makes you realize that you're not in this alone. It's important to know that you're prepared, so that when you go into the interviews, you go into that networking process, that you're confident, right, in how you feel and how you look, and you're going to be like, you know what, the CEO of this company can show up, and I may be better dressed than this guy is.
So it's been really nice to know that there was someone that can do a woman's suit or a man's suit, and who reaches out to females specifically. It makes me feel like I'm important. Pulling it out of my closet and seeing my name embroidered on the inside feels special, so it's really nice to have something that's made just for me. I feel more confident walking into an interview or talking to someone when I know that I'm dressed the way that I need to be and I don't have to worry about the way that I look when I walk in. I look like a professional.
When I get to hear those things, that this has impacted someone's life, it is the revelation of why we're doing what we're doing there in itself. Team ADDO needs to exist and keep going on to support our transitioning service members, 100%. If it's not just the suit, it's the friendship, it's the relationship, it's being a part of their family as they transition. It's the least we could do.
The interview that I conducted with my suit, they actually called me and want to offer me employment. So that is, I know that my suit had a lot to do with him, and my personality, of course, projected through my suit. Thank you, Team ADDO.